Indianapolis Raceway Park. We're ready for the second pair of the Big Bud Shootout. Final four of competition as Ed McCulloch and John Force square off. This is McCulloch. And for John Force, you get a unique opportunity to see what it's like from inside his race car. McCulloch's burnout proceeding in the far lane of the racetrack while John Force approaches the water. And once again, we cannot stress to you enough how much John Force has got to be thinking about the exploding supercharger problem that he has had all season long, and it has recurred here at Indianapolis. Inside the race car, it begins to fill up with smoke as John completes his burnout. Let's go to Steve Evans with Bruce Larson.
The track is changing. The sun comes in, the sun goes out. You've got to keep watching the sky.
That's right. We got to compensate with the clutch for the track temperature on the starting line. Maynard's doing a good job of that and still stepping up the pace.
Does the 5.40 surprise you at all? Is that what you figured it would run?
I wanted a little better, but it felt good. It felt like we gained something on the clutch tune-up. So I think we're ready for the next round.
The final round of the Big Bud Shootout.
That's it. Thanks.
Bruce Larson's going to be interested in this next pair because the winner there will meet him in the final round. And the question is, can either Force or McCulloch run quicker than that 540 laid down by Larson? Austin Coyle, the crew chief, looking in. He gives us the okay sign. It's time to go racing. They've got the engine repaired, back together. The crewman underneath the rear of the body on Ed McCulloch's car. Obviously, that's where the switch is for the electronic onboard recording device. He's now turned it on, exits the area as McCulloch heads into the staging beam. These two drivers just one race away from a shot at a $50,000 run. Tremendous race. John Force is into the finals of the Big Bud Shootout. His elapsed time, 5.40269. McCulloch trailed with a 5.41, but the important point here is that John Force, by 0.06 of a second, has lane choice over Bruce Larson in the final. Let's ride along in replay with John Force. Question is, does he still have the problem? And the answer is yes. You saw just a very slight pop indicating to John that the difficulty continues with his supercharger system. But in spite of that, he is in the finals of the Big Bud Shootout for the second year in a row, racing Bruce Larson. Steve?
Now that's my fire crew. Thank you. Thank you. Saved her.
John, I heard another little pop right at the finish line.
It's going to be this way to the end of the war, I guess. But, man, I tell you, I don't know if I'm starting to hear things because I'm getting old, but I heard McCulloch right out my window. I don't know.
You weren't hearing things.
Well, what was I hearing? I don't know. He was.
When you run a 540 to his 41, he is right there.
Dog, he was right there. I tell you, I was shaking on the starting line, and we're going to need some of this Bud money to pay this deal back. But most of all, the fire crew, they were here with me and give my guys some time to get this thing fixed again.
The damage not nearly as bad this time, Dave, as it was in round one.
Steve, that's good news because the always energetic John Force will have the lane choice in the final by 6/1000ths of a second.